2, 1.
Yep.
Welcome to the meeting of November 14th. We have a quorum. First order of business is approval of minutes from October 10th.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. New business. Update of the British Memorial added to the Veterans Memorial Park. David McIntyre.
Thank you. Is this on?
Yep.
Okay, good. I don't know if I'm Dave McIntyre, if you don't all know me, but been with the Veterans Committee for quite a while. You may have heard some rumors or whatever about this memorial, so I thought I need to let you know. And an email to Sulik a while back from Joe Crocker recommended we let you folks know what's going on. Back in July, first Joe Crocker got a phone call from a British folks, somebody down in Massachusetts, and because he's in charge of the parks, and then he handed it over to me because it happened to be something to do with veterans. And what the gentleman was from the British and Commonwealth Remembrance Project USA. And what they are, they're an organization that in remembrance of British soldiers and the people from the UK, both World War I and World War II. And they manage they have volunteers, something like 200 grave sites within the New England area. Maine, I think there's about 16 or so that I know of. So after I established who they were, Joe had got a hold of me. I called him back, and there's a gentleman named James Normington who is a representative for them, and he's located in Massachusetts. And he wanted to bring my attention to he'd like to establish a memorial for the pilots that were crashed in World War II in Sebago Lake. Now at the time, I've heard about the crash, but I didn't realize they were British pilots. We trained, and again, more research and looking at it, we trained many British pilots in World War II at Brunswick Naval Air Station. And they were on a training mission because they were US-made airplanes that they were using over in World War II in Europe. They were on a routine training mission. They were in a formation flight over Sebago Lake. And at some point, one of the airplanes came in contact with the water or had some problems. Another airplane flew into it, and they both crashed, and they're entombed in the bottom of Sebago Lake right now. So, and you may remember that Bill Green did a special back in 2018. It's about a 5-minute segment if you Google it up, and it kind of goes over it a little bit because somebody was trying to recover those airplanes for the value of them, and it was a no-go, couldn't do that. So after I talked to Mr. Normington, he let me know what they like to do, have a monument. They didn't care what we did. It was kind of up to us in Raymond's for the Veterans Committee, if you will, to come up with something. It could be as simple as a plaque on a tree, or it could be a monument or something of that nature. I geared towards making a monument. We already have granite benches. Our main memorial is granite, something substantial that would last, not maybe a tree that could blow over and people forget about it. So we started working towards that. Did a bunch of research, came up with a narrative that could go on a stone. And there was several emails back and forth with Mr. Normington to verify that it was historically accurate, had the pilots' names and stuff like that. And he okayed it. I had some meetings with Joe Crocker and also Don McClellan from his, not only he's a Vietnam veteran, but his dad was a World War II aviation, in aviation, so he was kind of, and flew in Europe. We settled on the narrative. And at that point, I went to Colette Monument, who does all of our pavers and all the other monuments and the cemeteries, as far as I know, in Raymond. Yeah. And they came up with what they could do for we had a budget of $2,500. That was the max they normally go to. And came up with a monument that would take the narrative and also have some descriptions on it. We went back, at that point, to the British folks in Massachusetts, because they had to approve what they liked what they saw, but they got approval through their various whatever organization they had to do. And from that point on, I went back to Colette and said it's a go. We had to make some minor changes. We had some airplanes on a monument that was dedicated to aviators. They didn't want airplanes on the monument for some reason. I couldn't understand that, but it's their money, so I didn't argue with that. So I went back to Colette and I let them know that this was strictly being paid for by the British. It's going on our veterans park, but all the costs for that is going to be borne by them. I'm not sure where that is. A month ago, when I was going to the last month's meeting, it hadn't been paid for yet at Colette. It's kind of out of my hands now because it's up to them to pay the bill. I've had just one piece of correspondence. I tried to check with them today, and he didn't mention the payment of it in an email. So I don't think it's a big thing. I'm not worried about it. But we finally went to. It was going to be the stone is about a $2,500 figure. That's placed. That Colette puts that in place for that, and then there'll be another slight charge for a piece of granite that it will sit on. And it'll be right, like I say, right in. It'll be separate from our park and monument, but it'll be on our park that people can see about the aviators. And one of the reasons that I obviously need to let you folks know what's going on. They intend to have now this was May 16th of 1944 that this accident happened. But when they like to have a ceremony to commemorate the stone, a remembrance of the stone, and they intend to bring a senior Royal Navy officer, whoever that might be, senior probably anything from a captain on up, and a representative of the British government at this ceremony. So the protocol of who comes, I don't know. Oh, and I probably left the important thing out now that I just said that. He told me when I originally talked to him, somebody in his organization and either met with Janet Mills or met with somebody in her organization, and that's how the discussion came up, that they wanted to recognize these pilots and come up with a monument. So that's one reason I went. As far as protocol, I'm not sure I'm sure that politicians like to get in the papers, like their pictures taken and stuff. So who would go? Who knows? I think if this comes to fruition, and I don't know how big they necessarily want it. If they're having a couple of which I would call kind of dignitaries, I would think it would be, kind of a big deal, if you will. Right now, there's, and I've talked with Nate about it, it's 17 years since the vet park went in when Howard Stiles, we got it all established. But there's many bricks that they crack and everything from the frost, and it kind of needs a facelift. And Nathan is kind of working on that. It probably isn't going to happen before that ceremony. It would be nice, but he's having trouble getting contractors. He can tell you more about that than I can. But other than that, that's probably the biggest thing. If you've got any questions for me, I didn't bring a picture of the monument and stuff. I didn't really kind of want it out there yet because it really isn't really. I don't know that it's paid for. I don't know that it's going to happen just yet. And I thought if you want them, I can send a picture to any of you folks in a little bit of the background. But a permanent stone has been picked. It's a black stone that I think would look very nice down there.
So the only thing missing is the writing on it right now?
No. It'll be
there.
They have to order it isn't in place yet. Okay. They have to order the stone. Colette has to order it in unless they already have them. I don't know. They said they order it, and but there's plenty of time for them to do it between now and next May. We've got, like I said, this started in July and we kicked it right off, and to try to get it, knowing how long sometimes things take. So right now we're just waiting for it, and I'll check with Colette. I'll give him another 2 or 3 weeks and just check with them, say, is it paid for yet? Because he was going to get going on it so it can be put in place by May 16th.
I think it takes like almost 16 weeks to get it done and everything on it, doesn't it?
I can't give you a number. When I've ordered, it depends on how they're working. When I've ordered pavers in the past, it depends on when we get in, I guess, their cycle, if they're doing certain things. I've got them as soon as 6 weeks, and sometimes it's taken 10 or 12 weeks. So I don't, it depends. This is like any other really burial stone, if you will. So I don't know. I don't think, I mean, I think it's all done by machine. Once they plug it in, it probably just cuts it. So any other questions that I can?
Anything else?
I just have a question about, you're going to keep us apprised.
Yes, yes.
Everything that's going on, the dates and everything else.
Yes, yes. Like I say, May 16th is right now is when I suggested that, or I asked, I said, you know, I might consider Memorial Day, even though it's our Memorial Day. We set up a bunch of flags and everything like that to make it look nice. We'd be doing that 2 weeks in a row. You can't leave them up because grass has got to be cut. So if we could do it on one day, that'd be nice. But it'll probably be, again, it's going to be at their convenience, and whoever. And I imagine if there's a fairly senior person, he's probably going to be locked in a few months out. So that's what I can tell you right now.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you for the update, David.
No problem. That's
Appreciate
all
it.
right. I'll let you know. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I think we're having some difficulty with sound on Zoom. Wayne, can you hear us?
Joe just texted me.
Yes, I can.
Okay. And Richard, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
So I'll text Joe and let him know that it's just him.
There you go.
Thank you.
You too. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, David.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. You're welcome.
All right, consideration of 2024 Ice Derby. Ingo, you're up.
Good evening, my name is Ingo Hartig. I reside on Oak Ledge Hill in Raymond, and I'm representing the Sebago Lake Rotary Club, and I'm requesting another fishing derby on February 17 and 18. There's some change, I like to, small change. We are working on a plan to now involve more pike, get more pike out of the lake, because they are becoming a problem, northern pikes. And the polar dip is going to be on Sunday instead of Saturday.
Good idea.
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Can I have a motion to,
Move to approve the application for the Ice Derby, February 17th, 18th.
A second.
moved and seconded, any discussion? All in favor?
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ingo.
Bring on the ice.
Yeah. All right, consideration of business license for Nicole Richmond, a licensed clinical social worker. Is she here?
I am here.
She is.
That's Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
All right, so why don't you tell us about this business you're gonna open?
I'm a licensed clinical social worker in the state of Maine. I've been in business in Gorham for 20 years, and I recently just moved the office out to Raymond to be closer to home. So I do.
Could you speak into the microphone?
I'm short, sorry. I do mental health therapy for children, adolescents, adults, families, usually private practice, just a couple people at a time, small office.
Where's your office gonna be?
It is in the 1288 Roosevelt Trail building where St. Pierre Law is.
Okay. Great.
Across from Goodhue?
From somewhere?
Goodhue?
Yeah.
I
All
think
right,
there was like 7 things.
yeah, Wayne, what do we have for things that need to be cleaned up?
So we did an inspection yesterday, and there's some small items that need to be cleaned up. There were 7 of them yesterday. They've taken care of 4 of them up to this point, so we're working in good shape. We would recommend conditional approval of this business license, subject to correcting the deficiencies in the fire inspection report within 10 business days.
All right.
Oh, when are you planning on moving to Raymond and opening the business?
Well, that already happened.
Oh, okay. Great,
I'm up and running.
great, terrific. Can I have a motion, please?
Move to approve the license, subject to correcting those few fire department issues.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further? Nope. All in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Welcome to Raymond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Changing Raymond Village Library.
I can give you the license copy.
Oh, sure. You want me to come in and get it, or?
Yeah, I'll call you when it's ready and you can come in and get it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I think this is going to be,
Consideration of changing Raymond Village Library hours. Richard, is it Dow or Doe?
It is dough,
Doe, okay.
like the pizza.
All right. So Richard, I saw your assessment and when people come in and, yeah, that's nice work right there. That's
Thank you.
you know, good statistics to look at. How's your staffing? Is any of this being done for staffing issues, or what's the reasoning behind it?
Not exactly staffing issues, but kind of fixing, because the full-time librarian, we have one of them, she doesn't get a weekend. She has 2 days off that aren't consecutive. So I'd like to change that. For the Friday and Saturday, there is kind of a tough time. If you call out sick, you can't have just one person working in a building. You have to have 2 people. So finding a volunteer for 2.5 hours for 2 shifts or 1 5-hour shift is much easier than a full 9-hour day on a Friday or a 7-hour day on a Saturday. So that's 2 parts to it.
Okay.
are you finding volunteers to do it?
Sorry?
Are you finding volunteers to work?
Yes, we do have a good volunteers. It is just one of those things that they're volunteers. They don't get paid, so it is on their time.
Wait, okay. How about changing that baby hour that you guys were questioning?
Yes, it kind of actually works out because our children's librarian, Miss Karen, is going on a nice vacation to see some of her family across the seas. So we're going to be not canceling, but postponing baby story time regardless for the month. So I think it'll be a good pause, and we'll be able to do it now on Thursdays, same time, 10:30.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Any other questions?
How are you planning to communicate the hour changes?
Yeah, I haven't done a newsletter yet. I have one drafted or ready to go. So I'll probably send that out tomorrow, assuming it is approved. And if not, I can just change that part. And we have a Facebook page that's very active. I'll post it on Facebook. I will update our website, of course. And I have a good connection with some of the local papers, like the Wyndham Eagle. I can always let them know too.
Let the town office know too. They can put it on the page also.
It's a great point. Yes.
All right, do we need a motion?
Yes.
A motion to approve the new Raymond Village Library hours.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you. I
Get out that
appreciate it.
information, let all the clientele know. That'd be great. Thank you.
Do you want to put it out there right now, what the new hours are? So anybody is watching?
Yeah, I can let you know. Absolutely. So it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So those will be our nice long days. We still have some evening hours open. And then Friday and Saturday will be 9 to 2. And if you do look at the stats, Fridays are not our busiest day, and Saturdays we definitely want to have a weekend open. So that's why I'm keeping that day.
Great.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know why I did that.
Okay. Consideration of extending contract assessor Kurt LaBelle's contract until June 30th, 2024.
No, not Kurt's. No.
I guess the only question I have no objection to
Yeah.
extending it. We did an adjustment to it last year, adding some time because of the income stabilization thing, which has now been canceled.
Yes.
So is that reflected in here, that less hours are going to be required, or where are we on that?
Well, this is also getting ready for the reval, so
Right.
my guess is no.
Okay,
Did you get your letter in the mail today?
I did.
It was a great letter.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
And
It
you
was
sit
very
there and you go,
informative.
why did the legislature do this?
Well, we all know why we know why, and we also made the comments at the time that they didn't allocate enough for it, so.
No,
But they don't listen to us.
no, they don't.
And Kurt normally would have been here for this, but he's not accessible by phone, Zoom, or anything else. He's out on vacation, I believe.
All right, can I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Moved and seconded?
I think you have to sign it, that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All in favor?
All those in favor? Unanimous? You know, it's kind of weird that it says, I know this is like right off the internet,
Uh-huh.
but it says the company.
We are the
Oh.
company.
So I will sign it.
Yeah, and Kurt made the form.
Can you just type right underneath Town of Raymond?
I'll just write, yeah, Town of Raymond.
Yeah, I should have picked up on that and fixed it.
I didn't know if we were the CIA or, yeah. Could be, we could be. You never know.
Yep, because CIA is undercover, so this may be our cover. Yep.
Consideration,
Abatement requests.
oh, the
Yeah,
abatement
and-
request for tabling, right?
Where you're yes,
Can I have a
because
motion
that
to
wasn't
table,
ready.
please.
Move to table the abatement request.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous. Consideration of new street name, Tanglewood Circle. Wayne, you taking this one?
No, Mr. Chairman, I'm not aware of.
That would be me.
Oh,
This case-
it came from Bruce.
It
Yeah.
did, and Bruce couldn't attend either.
She was switching hats underneath back there. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one with multiple brims.
Are
like
you
in
the
attorney.
interim fire chief now, too?
That's what it feels like.
I mean,
That's not a seat I want to sit in.
as
but
far,
I-
yeah, as far as I read it, it's just a technical correction.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
all,
it
yeah.
is. That street has existed how long, sir?
Oh, 25 or so years?
Yeah. It just was overlooked at the time to add it to E911, and people that have moved there can't or their company can't find them using GIS because it doesn't exist in any databases. And when it was researched, Bruce found that it wasn't in the E911 database, even though it's been in existence for a long time. So this is just a clerical
It is.
fix-it thing.
I had the same thing happen to me when I built the other house.
No, we did that so they couldn't find you.
I didn't want them to find it.
All right, can I have a
Move
motion?
to accept the name change.
Second.
All those in favor? All right. Consideration of town office emergency action plan.
And this was brought forth by Kathy, who is doing very well, by the way.
Okay. She had a knee replacement, if
Yes.
anyone doesn't know.
Her second.
Oh, second one. Oh, okay. Good.
And I hope and pray it goes as well as the first,
Yeah.
because she literally bounced back up. But the question was asked, I believe Sharice asked it first, if we have a fire, what do we do? And she came and asked me, and I said, we've had one fire drill since I've been here, and that was 9.5 years ago. So Kathy looked, and we really didn't have an emergency action plan. So she did some research, and she and I have been working back and forth on this to get the wording down and whatnot, so that's the history of it so far. I believe the one thing that hasn't been added is the location of the fire extinguishers and the exit plan. That's a map that she has yet to draw, but it doesn't change the verbiage of the policy. So I don't know if you want to wait to approve it until we have those two things, or if we'll just add those as addendums afterwards.
So isn't this supposed to be in any business?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We just didn't have a formal one.
Do you guys have, I didn't even look at this, because I have to have them on my walls in my own house,
Yeah.
maps
You have
as to how to get
You have
out.
to have your exit routes and things like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
And we do have some maps hanging around the town office walls Some of them got taken down when painting happened, and we're not quite sure where they went afterwards. So that's going to be for the next steps. And then come up with a plan to have an occasional fire drill, so everyone will know you
You
leave
do it
the
when they're not
building if you hear
expecting
this
it.
noise, yes.
So this is a policy and it needs select board approval? That,
I'm not 100% sure that it does, but
Right.
I more wanted you aware of it.
okay,
Why can't this just be an internal thing?
that's what it is.
The other thing I see that's lacking, because as far as, I mean, maybe, I'm not sure where everything's located anymore, but don't we have some of the servers and whatnot downstairs? So shouldn't IT be mentioned somehow in there on what they should do? Because there's a lot that, under an emergency,
Yep.
that Kevin can do remotely to mitigate anything that happens down there.
Oh, that's true.
He has a redundant system somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Fact.
So, but I don't see the need to get selectmen approval. Just-
Yeah, it's more
we appreciate,
procedural.
right, we appreciate the heads up. but- Okay. All right, discussion of proposed plans for new public works garage, upcoming budget process. Nathan,
Hi. So, I believe you guys have got,
are these the final plans?
they are not the final, but they're
Okay.
pretty close to it.
Okay,
There's a few minor changes that I want to make on the office layout. Other than that, that's basically what we're going to do.
okay,
It's downsized quite a bit from what I had originally started due to financial. It's smaller than the buildings that we talked about during the budget season. It's only 13, well, it is not only, it is 13,000 square feet.
and you could put all your equipment in this?
We can put most of it in. I would never think to put all of it in there. We have another storage building on the other side, the old sand salt building.
Yeah,
And the idea behind that, we've seen a couple of the municipal garages burn flat to the ground and they
Right.
lose all their equipment.
right,
And that's a pretty good fear of mine. And we
Yeah.
keep stuff right now up to District 2, and we keep stuff down the pit. So you could fit all our equipment in that building. I wouldn't recommend it.
yeah,
It's a lot of room. It's a lot of money. I'm just kind of here to see if we're headed in the right direction.
yeah, I mean, I think when we talked last time, it was like 4 million we were looking at, and now we're at 5.7?
Yep.
What's your
We
ticket,
were
what's
at
your big ticket?
six and change, almost 6.2, I think is where we started.
Yeah,
And I walked away from it. I went, no. And we're down to that. The next step would be knock off 2 bays, which would, going by the square footage numbers only, if you knocked off the 2 bays beside the wash bay, that's gonna knock it down another 850,000.
Well, what's kicking it up?
Cost of everything. It's,
Well, I know, yeah, I know the cost, but is there any big ticket items?
there's
more
nothing
than-
really big in the building. We've cut out a lot of the stuff. The wash bay is fairly expensive. Fire suppression, I think, was
Yeah, that's
almost 400,000.
yeah, that was a quarter.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. And that's really it. Those are the 2 big items. And the wash bay, we actually went away from the built-in pressure washer system. We're gonna keep the pressure washer we got. But the fire suppression, 3-phase power, we're gonna cut out of that. That's gonna save us some money on that. The only thing that we need 3-phase power for is the overhead crane, and we can put a power inverter in for a quarter of the money. The 3-phase power's got a lot of good to it, but a lot of bad. And there's supply demands. If you turn all the lights on at the same time, somebody hits the wrong button, you're gonna be in a different supply demand charge for however long they seem to keep you in that mode.
Where's phase 3 at the street of 8?
Plains Road.
Plains
is
Road?
3-phase power. The school ran 3-phase all the way to the elementary school. So they went right by the Plains Road and up 85 with it.
So how,
But it's is it at the corner of Plains and 85, or is it down?
No,
Plains?
it comes from 121.
Oh, that goes the other way. I got
Goes
you.
right by us.
Yeah.
right
Okay.
there. Talking to the electrician today, he said that's a very expensive setup. He had another expensive. The building's expensive, but it's another 30 or 40 grand to tie into 3-phase. He said somewhere in that range because of the cost of the equipment and all that.
so are other towns running into this same kind of pricing type thing issues?
No, well, there's a lot of other cuts they've made. Gloucester didn't sprinkle. Harrison didn't have to sprinkle. They fall back under the Maine State Fire Marshal's recommendations.
What's their recommendations?
On this building, don't sprinkle, you don't have to. But we have to because of our ordinance.
Right. I would say, you know, we'd have a hard time enforcing the ordinance on other people.
Right, if we don't do
enforcing
it.
ourselves, so.
No, I just was, just asking, so, yeah. And that, okay.
It's almost it's almost 2 times the square footage
But
cost that I was told by our engineer when I brought this forward last year.
Where are the prices coming from? Is it quoted, or is this just Sebago Technic's estimates?
Sebago
of-
Technic's, they're pretty much allowances. He said this is a high number, the 5.7
Yeah,
is a high
it
number.
looks high.
You're gonna spend money to get accurate numbers right now. He's recommended that we go to a design build, that we give whoever companies we pick, this is what we want, this is what we want for siding and whatnot, and just give it to them. To go forward and have them design everything this building right now, and come back with a price and ready to go out to bid, so a little over $100,000. And Owen said it's not, he said you give it to a company and they're gonna do it for nothing. They're gonna build what they think you want, and then you pick it out, kinda like what the fire department did. They did a design build. You just gotta be careful about what you're buying and what you're getting. That's where they come in.
I don't want to build a garage that we are already cutting at. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you don't
we're
want to cut
settling.
corners.
Yeah, and I don't want you to go in and get a half job that you want, because the whole point of, you know what you need, get it on paper, but wait a minute, let's take off of this. And the whole point, I thought, was to get out of some of these other buildings so we can have it in one place. So Nathan, go back to the,
I wouldn't add anything more to this building.
no, what I'm saying is you're offering to cut things out to save costs.
I don't think he's cut the bay out yet. He's saying if he does cut it out, it'll be 800 less. He hasn't cut it out yet. But it's
I mean,
800 on a
20-year note.
5,800,000. So you're cutting out.
I mean, the other
it's
thing
a lot, but.
And that's really what you gotta, when you stop and look at it, if we finance this building and you cut $800,000 out of that, you're literally pennies.
Right.
And it's something that's gotta be talked about. I mean, we can cut it back, we can operate fine with 2 less bays.
well, you know, let's get back to where we, you know, why we're doing this. We've got, you know, we've spent a lot of money on equipment. Right? And this is gonna help
Maintain it.
maintain it and give us a little bit more
Life.
out of them.
Yep.
So I don't feel bad in building something that's gonna meet our needs. If we shave a few dollars out of there, but then we end up have stuff back outside again, we haven't accomplished where we were going to
Correct.
to get there, so.
I mean, the other thing was doing the mechanical, making sure it fits into a bay.
Correct.
I mean,
We've got a lot of problems down there that we
Yeah.
puddle around and work around, and you put a truck in there with the full plow gear on it, you're climbing over the plow to get to the other
No.
side of the truck. Trying to get a truck in that building that's disabled is a nightmare.
We're over that, we're past that.
what would the plan be for that building on the corner?
That building down there, I've talked to Cumberland County off the record, they're thinking some storage. I have not talked to the fire department, I'm sure they'd take up some storage. District 2, you'd have to hang on to, that's this building down here, because of the fire department attached to it. And I think there's a lot of other options there that could be done. Those are just off the wall. District 1, where my office is, Joe will probably consume that until this up here to the school happens. Both of those are sellable buildings, because that's another thing I think we gotta consider is, we're not gonna lose any operating costs right now. We're gonna reduce some of it, but we're not gonna lose it. And this is gonna be more to operate than what I've got right now. Joe's running out of space. He's pushing me out the office every day.
Yeah, that's a space. If nobody's been there, you should go there and have a meeting in there and see how tight that one is.
We've had some failed attempts at trying to rehab the inside to make it more usable friendly. We've been in the budget process, and every time we get the money, we get a little bit closer to the goal, the price goes up. So we've been picking away at it. We did quite a bit of work on the outside of the building this year. I think it would be a good building for him for the time being, but what are your goals for the school? If we end up with a school. So that kind of hinges on that. A couple hundred, and at the end of the day, it's probably a $250,000 value, that building down there.
So right now, we're looking at approval next June on the bond.
Correct.
Go to the bond bank, that takes a few months. Building in the spring of 2025?
Talking to Owens, realistically, he was thinking the fall of '24, we could start building if everything was pulled together and going. And we would be in it by the fall, so he said about 12 months to build this, so where that lands.
That'd be nice.
Who was that? Said that?
Owens, not our
Sebago
technician, our
Architect.
Sebago Tech.
Do you guys have a generator at the building?
Right now, we've got a plug-in generator. Bruce got a grant. I don't know where it came from, but we've got a new 30 kW generator coming. Actually, we've got the generator. They're coming on the 20-something of this month, December, I'm sorry, to hook it up. So yes.
On
Do you?
This
District
building
2?
down here.
And is that?
That's been 2 years in the makings.
So this new building will have one also?
Well, this new one has a generator for 250,000. So what's that one?
This building right here?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, when he told me that $250,000.
Because I'm wondering how much you use that other one if this one's.
Well, I don't think it's gonna be $250,000.
Okay.
I did argue
I
that
can't
point.
imagine.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That one down there is I think it was $32,000.
Yeah.
The generator was 22,000 of that. This one out here, I think, was in the 20s, and the one at the town office is about the same.
Wow, and
Well,
250,000?
I mean, he's.
Oh, they're big
yeah.
generators. Those
Yeah,
are,
but
this is
still.
a 30 kW, the town office is 40, and we put a 30 in at the building. They're pretty big generators.
I mean, that.
Yeah, but this is-
That 250 is an
this-
allowance, so.
Yeah.
Well, I realize. Yeah, I'm just.
Worst comes to worst, the portable one now becomes, the one that's plugged into District 2 right now becomes just.
I'm just saying if you want to make cuts, I think those
Yes.
are easier cuts
Yeah.
than trying to shrink 2 bays out of this thing.
Well, and then you go back to the 250,000, it's kind of like, no, this isn't even cutting a penny in half when you're at the end of the day. But yeah, that's one of those things, we've got a generator, portable, it's portable, and that was a permanent mount one when we bought it. I mean, it's not brand new, but we never lose the power down there.
That's yeah.
And move it down
If
there.
things are going haywire where you're losing power, I think you guys are all busy out and about anyway.
Yeah, we're outside.
Well,
We're-
yeah, but that's usually, I mean, that's when they also have to go in and work on things.
So did I see it was $275 a square foot? for
Yeah.
building? Is that what I saw?
Yeah.
$434 a square foot for the total project. The building is.
The building
two
itself.
something, Yeah.
Yeah.
The total project would be $434.26.
Which is equivalent to what the school is, the middle school.
That's kind
Yeah,
of.
the middle school is way more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said 430.
Did they say 430?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like 8 something, but yeah.
Uh.
That's total project. That's going off that bottom line number by the square footage of the building.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of moving parts in there.
Right.
He also has stuff in there for wastewater. We've got a brand new septic system down there. He had stuff in there for water. We've got a brand new well down there. Those are all things that you'd pull out that will all reduce.
What about earthwork? Anything you guys can do to cut out of the one?
Well, I
108?
thought of that.
Sub everything out.
And he's not, the engineer is not thinking that's a great idea. I have no fear of anything. So it's something we could look at. We've got the ability, we'd rent a machine, but at the end of the day, you're better off to have a contractor do it, so if something goes wrong, you can,
Yeah.
hey, the water's running back in the building again.
I mean,
Yeah.
the other side of it is, if you're working on that, you're not working on.
Correct.
Well, yeah, you only have so many
Yeah, you
guys,
don't have
so,
much manpower.
yeah. So,
We haven't figured out how to clone them yet.
I want to, yeah, really. Budget season's coming up.
Correct.
This question's going to be coming up.
What question would that be?
Do you have, I mean, we know we've been talking about it, so what do you need for, what budget stuff does he need for budget season? Because it will be coming up as to, have you done estimates, have you done plans, have you done whatever?
Well, he's got the plan. The plan's all done.
I know that, I know
Yeah.
that.
The floor plan's done. The
Right.
construction plans are not done. That's where
Right.
that's where that design build.
Okay.
Right,
comes
and I don't know that you can get that done before budget season.
Well, you
I-
wouldn't anyway if you're gonna bid it out as
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
bid it.
you'd
designed to build.
You'd probably, what I would end up doing, and I believe this is how this would work, is you're gonna refine that 5.7 million down or up. And that's where you're gonna go, that's where the budget's gonna have to be set until it goes out to bid. Once you get the final bid, that's where the bond stuff comes in and away you go for the.
I don't have a problem at all. Like I said, I don't want you cutting it back out just to get it down or whatever, but I just know that this is gonna come at us during budget season, and I'm fine with standing behind it and everything else.
And look,
I have one question on the actual placement of it. Is that 30 feet enough room between the salt shed and the corner of that building?
Yes.
Okay.
You know Derek's gonna be down there looking at you going, nope, that's too close, shift a little to the right.
No, I'm just wondering for
Left.
equipment wise.
I'm just teasing.
I just want to make sure. And the elevations look steep on this, but it's really not that big of a.
When you're coming towards closer to Plains Road, that does go right up pretty good right
Yeah.
there. But it's all sand, it's really.
Yeah, it looks.
digging.
Yeah, you can see where it fits the land pretty well. If it moved more, there's a lot of fill that would have to go there. But if 30's fine, then that's a good
that-
spot for it.
And that was part of the problem.
Yeah,
You
you're-
moved it
yeah, you're-
back towards that property line, that drops.
Yeah,
off
you're
pretty-
spending another 50 grand on fill, so.
well, I think it's an investment the town needs to make. We've been doing a lot of investing lately into things that the town should have done, planned out more. We need to protect the equipment,
Yeah.
you know,
We need to protect our employees,
right, and the employees.
just when they're in there working, they can't, yeah.
I mean, we still have a AAA rating, you know. I mean, the bonding on the other project went out at 3.65,
Oh.
which is phenomenal.
Wow.
So if we could stay in that ballpark because of our credit rating, I think it's a very affordable project. It's not gonna be a 5-year bond like the last one. It's gonna be 20 years. You know, and it won't be a big impact on the taxpayer. But it will be a good investment for the town.
Yeah.
So.
These
the ne-
buildings too they last for, you know.
Yeah, and it's, what Owens is looking at is, they're insulated metal panels.
Yeah.
And he said they're 20-year life expectancy without any maintenance, and if we've got a pretty good maintenance program. We try to run a pretty good maintenance program, and he said, keep the building up. It's a 40, 50-year building without any problems.
Right.
Just
That
got to
puts-
open the doors and then drive out.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. Well, we got one bay that's drive-through, so if we see them coming, we get them both open.
All right. Any other questions for Nathan?
So, go forward?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, fantastic, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nathan.
The other one is Tasseltop. I didn't get the plans to Sue quick enough, the floor plan, floor plans for Tasseltop Snack Shack and what's going on down there. We're in about the same stage as we are with the garage. We're a little further ahead of it. There you go, that's the roof view.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, go down, Sue. So the floor plan, he's got an option, and I don't think Joe, can you hear us yet, Joe?
I'm here. I can hear you.
So why don't you take the floor plan from here, because you've been more involved in it than me.
Yeah, of course. So this is going to go where the two trailer toilets are currently. So it'll sit maybe just at a slight angle, kind of running along that ledge, but they'll be facing that way. So you'll see the order pickup canopy, which will be closest to the cul-de-sac. So that's where you go to order your food, beverages, stuff like that. There'll be a kitchen there with a pizza oven. I would try to keep this minimal to not have any fire preventions, hood and stuff like that. So it would just be basics of oven, cold stuff, hot dog roller, stuff like that. So it won't be full service kitchen, but it'll be enough to get something different than what we have right now, which is microwavable food. The back will have a grill canopy overhang too. You kind of saw the roof view of it. So we could have a grill for burgers, stuff like that. We'll have a kind of a drive-in for my truck to unload into the dry goods area, storage area in the back there as well. So we'll have plenty of storage. That'll be where our internet and Kevin's IT stuff will be as well. And then we'll have three bathrooms facing towards the current snack shack, and we'll have 3 bathrooms on the back side of the building as well, with 2 outdoor showers on the end.
let
So
me just
that's the
interrupt you for a
general layout of the snack shack.
Let me interrupt you for a second, Joe. On the back,
Go ahead.
I downloaded the wrong plans. On the back of that building where you see the doors swing out, that's gonna be open with 3 shower heads, so you can rinse off coming out of the lake. That won't be enclosed. This
Alright.
part, right,
The very end.
yeah, right here.
That's correct,
This
yes.
here is not.
Good catch, Nathan.
And so this is gonna be all open with just the roof overhang with, I think there was 3 shower stalls that are gonna be open. So you're not gonna be able to take a shower, you're just gonna be able to rinse off it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is. an
Open on 3
overcopy.
sides?
Yeah, I
or
just realized that.
Open on one side or 3 sides?
No,
There's stalls in
all-
between and just open on the outside, or?
You're gonna have, this is the last building
Yep.
wall, and there's gonna be a wall here and a wall here with a,
Yep,
it's kind of a.
And just the
probably
head.
Open about that much on the side,
yep,
and this will be open to the back, and there'll be a 3rd wall right here.
okay,
Get one, I think there's 3, I think there's 1, 2, 3 on the back.
okay.
Go down to the next? Or stay here?
Yeah, just go down with the, are you done, Joe?
Yes.
Yeah, this is
Yep.
the outside, just the outside picture of it.
So yeah, you'll see the canopy off both sides. One of the kind of order concession area on the back side was where the entrance to the kitchen and grill would be. Then you'll see on the rear, the back here, where the bathrooms are, and we're going to keep this with a fake log sided. Help me out, Nathan. Not a
Log sided?
just log sided.
Okay.
This is where the
Finish,
shower's
kind
gonna be.
of keeping everything with the tassel top theme.
This will be open from here to the roof line. then
And what's that,
across.
4-foot frost walls and a slab?
Yes. Yep.
And posts on the roof for the overhangs? Or is that frost wall too?
I think they were posts, yeah, the front's posts.
Okay, yep.
They got 2 posts. The 3rd one there. So there's one where Joe's right here. Kind of in the way.
Behind you.
Joe, can you move?
Wayne's giving, there you go.
And when is this starting?
We've already started the process. The septic system's all designed, and that's going out to bid, I hope, next week. And that'll be included, the slab work will be, or the foundation work will be included. We're waiting for construction plans for this building and a quote on pricing, and then that'll go out to bid.
Hopefully starting in the spring?
No, finished in the spring, we're
Really?
I want to be out of there by middle to end of May, so when he opens, he won't have any disruption in operations.
And they're able to pour a slab in the middle of winter?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay.
And it's.
Let's hope for a mild winter.
Huh?
Yeah,
Hope
we
for
hope.
Praying for no snow.
Right.
70, 80 degrees, it'll be fine.
Oh, it looks good. Gonna change it down there. It's gonna look great.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of adding on down there, which is great.
anything else you need to add, Joe?
I think that's it. I think we'll have a new maintenance garage in that master plan that we'll be working on as well. That's where we'll get away from the cabin rental. So Barry can do his woodworking away from there, and the Bear and Karen will be staying on site as well. So that would be the goal as well coming spring. So it would be nice to have our caretakers live there. It's a model that's been used at a lot of parks like that, and it helps protect during the hours that staff is not there. So that's the next phase of this project.
Great. Joe, you look good with your hat on before. I don't know why you took it off.
Oh, Joe.
My hair's getting a little long. That's why I had it on.
All right. Anything else?
Great.
Just one more informational thing. Our playground system is going up as we speak. They started today.
Oh, good.
Talking to him, the contractor, they should be done on Friday.
Good.
So
What's the thing back in the right-hand side? Are those swings? The new swings?
Yeah, the swing set's there, we just haven't hung the swings on it
Oh,
yet.
cool.
But that's been a long time coming, a long battle.
I think it's gone up pretty quick.
It's snappy.
You guys are-
Yep. It's pretty,
I found that paper, yeah, I told you I found that paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a couple years.
and of course, this year it's been wetter than wet.
Yeah.
It's been awful down there. Got our loader stuck down there this morning, putting stuff around. It's been good.
Cool.
It's been good.
Yeah, it's been good. Thank you very much for your time. And
Thanks, Nathan.
hopefully get
Thank you,
something out
everybody.
to you soon.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting, all this stuff happening in
Yes.
Raymond, though.
It's
Huh?
moving forward,
It is.
but it's not moving forward so fast that people can't take it in.
No,
That's what's cool.
but you're seeing it happen, which
Yeah.
is kind of nice. So, all right.
Thank you
Don't
very
move
much.
ahead yet. Back on that emergency action plan, we actually have to sign that, but I think that,
Why?
I added that if you wanted to sign it, so I'll take that off when we add our attachments to it.
all right, well, one of the other things it says, rescue and medical duties, only designated employees are expected to render first aid, and employees will be trained in first aid. Who is doing all that?
Well, Kathy's organizing it, but we'll talk about it within ourselves, who's going to be trained.
Okay, so you
'Cause,
don't,
for instance, I would love to have training on how to run the fire extinguishers. I've never done that, so.
Ken told me that. PASS, P-A-S-S. And he
I
showed
mean,
me.
that's typical of most, they'll, you know, you have the overall plan, then you train certain
Right, people.
employees to do certain things, and then they're designated, so
Yeah.
that's, you know, and it's an evolving thing, so.
Yep. So we don't need to sign it, all right.
Okay, public comment.
This is our only public this evening, sir.
You guys want to say anything? Nope. You sure? You can say whatever you want.
Want some more candy, guys?
All right, well, anyone on Zoom that wants to say anything?
No
Seeing
one's
none?
raised their hand.
Selectmen comment?
Nope.
We're good on that?
Oh.
Comment?
Wait, thank you to all your staff that you had for Election Day. They came out and helped because you guys were down and out. And out of all times to do it, a huge thank you to everybody.
Yeah, it was, I mean, we have great employees. They stepped up, they got it done.
And volunteers did, and yeah, you guys, yeah.
That's a wonderful segue into the town manager's report, because that's exactly what I have.
There you
I
go.
rolled that right out to you.
All right, Sue.
The election workers were amazing. Everyone I called and said, Sue and I can't be there. No one said, oh, that sucks to be you, basically. It was, how can I help? Can I work extra shifts? I'll do whatever. And I especially want to call out Marie Connolly, Louise Lester, Jenny Silverblade, Cynthia Davenport, and our Nathan back here, Nathan White. Marie stayed most of the day, so did Louise. When I came in Wednesday morning before all the staff was here, so I wouldn't be unclean amongst them, there was only one form that was missing. Everything tied out perfectly.
Wow.
And the form that was missing was one that neither Marie or Louise had ever seen before. And they were able to fill that form out. I got everything up to the state, or Jenny did for me. Jenny and Cindy worked double duty all week and worked the election, being the registrars, and stayed well and beyond. Nathan was there at 6 o'clock, and he was still there sending me results at 11. So I could not possibly have done it without them. You know,
It was actually a pretty
fantastic.
good voter
Yeah.
turnout.
It was much
For an off
larger,
year, nothing really going
Yeah.
on.
and it was true across the state.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absentees were down and in-person was up, and
Yeah.
that's the first time since COVID that that's been true.
Yeah.
wow.
So it has been amazing, but the town of Raymond certainly has wonderful, wonderful people in it.
Aw.
Everyone jumped forward. It was beyond fantastic.
Yeah.
And they helped a lot while I'm sitting over there frantic, trying not
Aw.
to come apart.
Ah.
I've only had to miss an election before, but not with both myself and the warden
Yeah.
down.
Great.
So that was fantastic.
Good. Anything else?
that was it for me.
Do we have to have a meeting next month?
You really, really do, sir. We need to set the agenda and the schedule for the budget season. And
Can't-
if we wait till January, things can move too far to be good for the election.
Can we do it at the end of November? And not have one in December?
Yeah, but when Thanksgiving's,
You're ready to Thanksgiving. If you
Well, I
Oh,
guess
it'd
you
be like
could
the
do-
27th.
the
it'd be
week
Black
after.
Tuesday.
Black Tuesday, Black
It'll be
Friday.
Black Friday after
Oh.
that.
It's appropriate.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot right now that does need to be on there, but the budget schedule in particular is.
You realize what's gonna happen now. that
Why are you
As soon as
going
you
away?
say there's not a lot on there, we're just,
Yeah.
yeah, something, couple things might come up.
All right, we'll just leave it for the 12th and,
Come in, do it, and get out.
yeah.
Are you gonna be away?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I just,
It was gonna be a nice.
I was
trip.
hoping not to have a meeting.
Yeah, maybe January's an option for not having a meeting.
Yeah, we'll see where
Possibly.
we're at. I mean, because budget really won't start till February.
Right. But that's when we set the agenda and set the schedule so that we know when to have the staff have all their stuff ready.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll be back on December 12th.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I should put it on my calendar now, if I remember.
Put it on mine.
All right, anything else?
Move to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everyone.